Part of my role is to provide weaving sessions for you all to have a little bit of enjoyment through your stay, but also to offer social service support to families that are needing extra support and help. I hope your guys' stay's been great so far. So what I will do is I'll shoot this around. We can go to whoever. Just introduce yourself and your name. You probably already know each other, but for my reference, what you do and where you've come from.
So we're starting. I'll start. Hi, I'm Jude Blake. I'm originally from Huntley, but I've been living in Singapore for the last 8 years, and I teach at UWC there. So hope to see the whānau.
Wow, that is so cool. Kia ora, Judith.
Kia ora.
Kia ora, I'm Mary. I'm originally from Hawke's Bay, and I also teach in Singapore with Judith and with Belinda, and I also taught the little one, Jamie. So we're all just here for the holidays.
Oh, kia ora, Mary.
Kia ora.
Okay, shall we go next? My name's Belinda, and this is Jackson and Jamie. I grew up in I was born just in a little town out of Hikataya on the Hauraki Plains, and then moved into Thames, and then Auckland, and then I've moved to Singapore and been living in Singapore for about 14 years. And these two were born in Singapore, and just, home to see the family in the school holidays, working with Mary and Jude.
That is so awesome. Hi, guys.
I was going to introduce myself, Rach.
I'm 11. I'm 9.
7 and 9. Wow. Do you love living in Singapore?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm Nicole, originally from Fielding, but was living in Christchurch before I went to England, and I've been there for 16 years this year, just home for holiday, and the summer holidays as well.
Wow. That is so amazing. You have come from such a interesting culture that I don't know very much about, so if you want to share stuff with me throughout the session, that's awesome. I could imagine the lifestyle's a lot different to what we're used to here in New Zealand. That's awesome to have you guys in this session, and I hope that you can take some of the skills away with you and teach those back in Singapore when you return home, or even show your whānau while you're here. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to start us off with a karakia, just to bless us while we're weaving. A couple of things to be mindful for when we finish our weaving is before you go to eat anything, to wash your hands off. And I'll talk a little bit after the karakia about the history of flax and the many purposes it has. Am I clear enough for you? Can you hear me, see me?
Hi.
Okay. So I'll just start off with our karakia. Tuku atu te wairua kia rere, ki ngā taumata hei arahi i a tātou mahi me tā tātou whai, ngā tikanga a rātou mā. Kia mau, kia ita, kia kore ai ngaru, kia pupuri, kia whakamaua, kia tīna. Hei me hui e tai ki. Awesome, guys. Thank you for that. The purpose for blessing us is because this plant has come from Papatūānuku, which is Earth Mother. Being very important to Māori is particularly this plant is because the literal translation for it is pāharekeke, and in English that means generations. So when we look at a flax bush, or the way it's made up in 3 parts. So the first part is we have the rito, which is the baby. Then we have the mātua rito, which are the parents, and then we have the kaumātua, which are the grandparents. So it's made up in 3 parts. The only part of the harakeke that we harvest are the grandparents. I know that sounds a bit rough, but to ensure the life source and the generations continue to flourish, that's the reason why. You'll notice that your leaf has been cut on an angle. The purpose for this is to ensure that when we're harvesting off the plant, that when it rains, the water runs off it. It doesn't seep into the plant, because that's when rotting can occur. And maybe some of you might have some brown spotting on your leaves. So what I've done since I started doing the weaving within isolation facilities is I've gone around Hamilton and started harvesting on various plants and ensuring that I'm treating them well, making sure they're nourishing and continue to flourish for everyone else who wants to use them in future. But there is an abundance of it. It is everywhere. So feel free, once you're out of isolation, to just go and get yourself some. Harakeke is a very sacred plant to Māori. It's been used for generations for multiple purposes, from creating clothes, kakahu, making kono baskets, weaving cloaks, korowai. There are many uses, baskets. You can even make ropes. So just inside your split, you'll see the genetic makeup of it, which is all the fibers and all the strong stuff in it. What we usually do when we try to strip back to get those fibers is you can use a mussel shell and start to get rid of the waxy layer on the outside. And then you're left with all those fibrous strands in the middle. And you just leave that to dry for a few hours, and then you can start to rope it in to make, one of my favorites is when you're going eeling in the creeks, is you can put tiny hooks into it as you're weaving it through, and then chuck it down into the water, and then you have a kai, you have food. So what we'll do is we'll get started in our weaving our flower anyway. So get your leaves ready. What you'll notice on the back is there's a spine, and that spine runs up to about a quarter of a way of your leaf. What we want to do is we want to find where that ends and the leaf gets a bit softer, and we're just going to put our thumbnail into the middle there and strip the leaf half all the way to the top. Awesome, guys. Cool. So once we've got our split, you'll notice that one of your leaves has this almost sinew type thing running up the middle that used to connect the two leaves together. We're just going to get our nail in behind that really closely and strip that up to the top. And then we're going to turn our leaf over and pull that strand off at the back.
Should we split it all the way up, or you keep it joined so that it's just split part way?
So you split all the way up to the top and you keep the bottom intact.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just get rid of this. Hang on.
The reason for getting rid of that piece that sticks in the middle is it makes nicer edges and cleaner edges while we're weaving our flower.
We don't need that anymore.
No, we don't need that anymore. Okay, awesome, guys. Cool. So for the next part, what we do is we fold our leaves together, and we're going to mark a halfway mark. Once you have your halfway mark, what we're going to do is try and push our finger through. So do this facing towards you, but I'm going to do it facing towards you so you can see. As I get my nail in and I dig it right in, and then I split the leaf. And then again, I make a split all the way up to the top. So I end up with 4 strands.
Is it halfway from where it's split or halfway of the whole length?
Yep, so splitting it from the same point that it is in the middle.
Oh yeah, okay, fine, yeah.
So definitely, I'm right in saying I split it from where it's already split. Yep.
Yep, that's
Okay.
the one.
Brilliant. Couldn't go back once I had got it wrong. Uh-oh. Oh, I love the smell. Don't get any nice well, we get tropical smells in Singapore. They're not nice, but I don't know, familiar.
Mine wasn't quite even, but anyway.
No, mine's not either.
That's okay. We'll still work with it. We'll achieve the flour at the end.
It's even at the bottom.
Look, I think I've got a group after this with, I think, about 2 or 3 people. So there should be some leftover flax once we're done. If you want to ring up to reception and request any leftovers.
Thanks.
Okay, awesome, guys. Let's get started. Okay, so this particular weave that we're going to do is probably one of the more difficult ones to get your head around. The reason I like to teach this one is because once you learn this one, every other weave or flower type that you're going to try after this will come across a lot easier. So I'm facing towards you, but you hold your plant towards you, like this. What we're going to do is we're always going to work from the right-hand side to the left. So we're going to take our leaf, make sure I've got the right side. We're going to take our first leaf on the right. We're going to fold it behind the second. And we're going to bring it under, over, and under. And then it's going to pop out the end here.
I like that.
That's the one. Awesome. And what you can do is just push down on those corners there to make sure it holds in place. Awesome. And then it's the same concept again for the next leaf. That's it. Going to take this one, fold it behind, bring it under and over. And then again with this one, there should only be one leaf sticking up. So that just holds behind. I always admire mums who come in with their tamariki and their children and start weeding. Awesome. Okay. So the next step for this is we're going to turn our leaf. So all these leaves are now sticking up again. We're going to grab this one that's sticking out the end here. And we're going to bring it behind, fold it under, over and under. And then it's going to come right next to your stem. And press down again. It will stick up a bit, it goes a bit funny, but once we get the rest through, it should stick down. Good there, Belinda?
Yeah, I'm not sure we've got it. Hang on, hold on to that. How many times do we need to go? I'm kind of like that. So I've done it twice.
Awesome. Okay. So once you've gone, we're going to weave all the leaves through. So we weave always under and then over.
Okay, so keep going.
Yep, and then we take the last one behind, and then there'll be one left sticking up. Cool. And then we just flip it, so all our long leaves are now facing up again.
Ooh, I haven't got one sticking out. I've got that.
But you've threaded your one.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or wait, sorry.
Oh, okay, that's the next step for Belinda, I see.
Yeah, I don't think we're there, but carry on if you need to. We'll keep playing.
No,
That's
we'll
okay.
wait, we'll wait.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
Have you got it?
Yeah, Jackson's got it.
Okay, so where have you got it? So the stem is there. No.
What you could do while we're waiting is just tell me a bit about Singapore if you'd like to, and the culture and the experiences over there, what life is like.
It's very multicultural. So there's firstly there's four official languages, which is quite interesting in itself. So everyone speaks English generally, or mainly speak enough English to get by. But so that's pretty interesting. It's the size of Lake Taupo. So you can imagine with the pandemic, it's all very well that we've been stuck in a country, but we've also been stuck in a small city, really. So we're all lucky to have managed to get out. Actually, as New Zealand and Australians, we're the only ones to have been able to leave for the holidays. You had to apply for permission to leave. So we've all been there sort of a year and a half or 2 years without leaving, which is quite interesting. It's imagine being stuck in Auckland, for instance, without being able to leave the whole city and everything. Anyway, it's they really look after their green areas, green space. So there's some really nice sort of tropical walks and things. But again, there's 6 million people. So despite there being beautiful tropical walks, there's always someone on them. But they're very, very conscious of green space. Beautiful, amazing food, because obviously there's cultures, all different Asian cultures within Singapore. Like great Thai food, great Indian food. So not just from the four main cultures in there, but it's got a little bit of everything, which is pretty amazing. So, but it's hot, and one of the things is no season. So it's been nice for us all to come back here. You'll notice the kids have been in like either jandals or bare feet. Like we've all been in t-shirts. Well, I have just enjoying the cold. So that's been pretty interesting. Yeah. But
wow, no, these are.
It's quite interesting talking to the army guys downstairs. They're little because they've told me they're young. But Singapore and New Zealand had a really good relationship during the war in New Zealand. New Zealand stayed on, I think, until the 70s. The military stayed on there. So if you say you're a New Zealander, a lot of the oldies are really treat you really well and launch into stories about the New Zealand army being in there. So it's so it's nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's terribly modern as well. Yeah.
Really?
It's really modern. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Love to go there one day. Hopefully when the pandemic has cleared off a bit more and the world opens up a bit.
I think they're ready.
Awesome. Okay, guys.
I think we've all got 3 at the top, 1 at the side, and then the spine the other side. Is that right?
That's the one. Awesome. Okay. So our next step for that part there is to take this one that's sticking out the end and then bring it around the back, under, over, under, and it'll come next to your spine. Well done. Awesome. Okay, and same concept again, we carry on with each leaf after that. So the one sitting up here, fold it behind, under, over, and then again with this one, and that just comes in under. And then we're ready to flip again. So now you're going to have 3 leaves sitting up with your stem up as well. And we repeat the same process again. The one from the end comes under and behind, or behind and under, over, under, and then over, because we want it to sit on top of the stem. We don't want it to have it at the back.
Do we keep going with the other ones?
That's the one, and we keep going with the rest. And then you'll get to a point again where you've only got 1 leaf left. Repeat the same process. And just keep going round and round until you're probably left with about that much leaf at the end.
It's similar to the Irish, they make like Celtic crosses with dried out flax.
Oh, wow.
But then I've got to this stage where I've got the spine there and this. If I don't...
Yep, so
also.
Same concept again. You're going to turn it.
Oh, so this is considered the last one, not the spine. Oh, okay, cool.
Not the spine. We just leave the spine aside. It's just going to fling around while we weave.
Ah, mine's ended up in there. Oh, okay, so where does this go? See what I've done here? I'll turn it towards you.
You put it a bit closer to the screen or the camera, please. There we go. So that one's just going to come down behind the loose leaves, so the 3 that are sticking out.
There?
What you do want to do is you've got a middle leaf that's behind the spine. Do you want to bring that around to the front?
Oh, so there'll be 2 around the front.
Yep,
okay, that's where I've gone wrong. Thank you.
It's making like a circle, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't include the spine in the first one, but then I did in the second, and that's where it went wrong. Thank you.
You okay there, Judith? It can be quite a therapeutic activity to do.
Definitely.
So how far are we into your stay? How long have we got left?
2 more nights.
4.5.
We leave on Saturday at 6:30.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, is it meant to, my one looks different. Is it meant to be kind of like a spiral like that?
It is, absolutely. It's going to start doing that. So I haven't quite got there myself, but
Okay.
it will.
Okay, so it's kind of like a spring.
Yep.
Okay.
Just if you're feeling like it's not tight or it's a bit loose, you can just press on the edges.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Look at mine. Mine looks so much better.
It's okay.
Yeah, mine looks like a circle.
Okay.
So does mine, Jackson.
And mine.
Mine looks like a flower.
Yeah. Jackson, that's what
Beautiful.
and then it kind of springs out like Mum showed. I think hers might be just looser, maybe. I don't know. Just being polite, Belinda.
It can make a difference having softer edges. It doesn't affect the flower at the end. It'll still come out.
I've got this flower.
Oh, it's lovely.
Oh, well done, Jamie.
Awesome, that's beautiful.
One of mine is really short and skinny. Do I still keep going a bit more? Because see, the rest are quite long. That one's not.
Yeah, for sure. So what I would do is go maybe till you get about there, because you'll notice with my leaf's broken too, so it's a lot thinner than the rest of the strands.
Yeah.
So maybe take it as far as you can, and then just stop weaving with it. Leave it out when you're weaving.
How much further do we go? So I've got to there. It's a bit hard to see, isn't it? There.
Oh,
Not that
well
much.
done, Judith. Yeah, I'd probably stop there for now,
Okay.
and we'll tie these off shortly.
Cool.
So yeah, mine's gotten quite short as well with this one, so I'm going to stop weaving now, despite having a bit longer here. So if that's the same for you, Nicole, you're welcome to do your last round, and then,
I see that.
yeah.
So how should I finish? With like all up one way, or because I've got one over there?
It doesn't matter. It's completely up to you. Probably leave that one there at the moment.
Okay.
And for you and Judith, if you guys could watch, and I'll do this with you, and then I'll go through it with Belinda and Mary again, is taking, so all our loose leaves that we've got left, I've got one off to the side here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and I'm going to wrap it a couple of times around the loose leaves. And then I'm going to grab another one and I'm going to use it to tie a knot, just to hold it in place.
Okay.
Awesome. And then just hang tight, and I'm going to show you all together how to do this little trick with your flower. So traditionally, this weave is done with a bigger harakeke, and then it's turned into lilies. They make lilies out of it. I like to make little roses. I think there's just so many creations you can make, completely up to you. But there are other ways to weave roses and different types of flowers. You can also dye the plant. You can buy some beautiful natural dyes online that put your flax into your flowers, pull them out, put them into a bouquet. You could either weave a mat to wrap around it as a gift for someone.
I think I've got to a stage where I've got these thin ones.
Awesome,
So
Mary. You can tie too. Oh, well done. Look at
Ooh.
that.
Is that Jamie's? Cool.
So cute. Well done.
Jackson.
Good job.
Well, our flowers all look very different, so that's what flowers are all about in the garden, right?
Mine does too. Mine looks different to yours.
Absolutely. Unique and beautiful in their own way. Cool. So have you tied off, Mary? Or?
No, how do you do that?
Okay. So we just group together all the loose leaves, grabbing any strand really, wrap it around the loose leaves a couple of times, and then we grab another one and we use it just to tie a knot to hold
Okay.
it in place.
Okay. Oh, I missed one. Hang on. Ooh. Okay.
Awesome.
Those thin ones came in handy then. Okay, lovely.
Okay. So this next part here, we're gonna do a little bit of twisting with our leaf and then a bit of spinning. But what we did while we were weaving is we made those natural grooves in the flower, and it's been weaved in one direction. What we're going to do now is grab your leaves wherever they're sitting, and we're going to fold it back against the natural flow, and we're going to bring those leaf sleeves all the way through and around those plates, those parts that were separated. That makes sense.
So you go back on itself or carry on? Where you set against the
Go back
natural,
on it.
back on itself. Okay.
And then it's going to pop out the back here, just
yeah.
outside.
Very nice.
I'm confused.
Can you show us again, please?
Awesome.
'Cause I don't want to do it and then have it be weak.
Okay, so
Yeah. Wow. That's so cool.
mine has this way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it, and then I'm going to start going against it, and it's going behind as I'm twisting. It's going behind those natural.
Yeah.
So you twist it around like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, and then it'll pop out the back.
Just keep following the flow and it'll naturally go in.
I'm not sure I got this, but anyway.
Have I got
Go
that?
again if you.
Is that right?
Oh, look at that.
Wow. Jamie, look at the camera. I'll take a screenshot while you're doing it. Jamie, pop your face in the camera as well. There we go. There we go. I'll send you that.
Is it like that? No.
Yep. That's your leaves popping out the back.
Yeah. Ish.
Hopefully.
Ah, there we go. That's a nice screenshot.
So it becomes a bit munted, and it's a bit all over the place.
There's a good Kiwi
what-
word, munted.
So once we've got it out the back, what I like to do is just ensure that that knot that I've tied has come all the way through. If you need to pull it a bit to get it through, then that's okay. And then it's a bit deformed, so it's come out of shape.
Yeah.
But what we want to do is just use our hand to gently coax it back into position how it was before, so twisting those plates back around until it ends up sort of how it was before we weaved it to the back.
Mine's gone wrong.
Okay. What I will do is I'll start this process again. I'll just show you who are ready. If you want to hold quite firmly of your leaves and hold your flower like this. So hold on to these leaves quite firm. We're going to use our stem to spin and start spinning your flower.
Ooh.
Ah,
Should start to shape out with a
yes.
little putty.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, really good.
Well, I'll leave mine at someone's door and they can finish it for me.
Do you want to go through it again, Nicole?
I just don't know what I've done wrong.
You can join the 11 o'clock group and try and pretend that you've just started.
I have a meeting at 11 or just after half 11 now.
Oh no.
Once we've done that,
Okay, once you've done it and you've spun it,
yeah.
you've got two options really. You can, from the back, you can split half and half, wrap it around your stem, then wrap it around again, and then tie it off at the back into a knot, and then that should hold it into position.
Can you show me that one more time? So I've spun it.
Awesome. Once you've spun it, so once it's at the back, you can take half of the leaves, split them in half, and then wrap it around the stem and then tie it off in a knot to hold it in place.
Beautiful.
So,
Thanks, Joey.
Beautiful, Judith.
Yeah.
so how do I get it? Like, that's mine before I start the spinning, right? And then you said you go the opposite way to what you were weaving.
Yep,
And then do you go through the spiral?
that's it. Go through the spiral until you get out the end, out the back. There we go.
So when I get there, is that the back?
Yep, that's the back.
Now
And
what
then
do
what you want to do is just make sure that you pull it through so the part where you've tied and knotted it off comes out the back.
See, that's quite different to everyone else's.
Oh, it's
No.
okay. It's perfectly fine. What happens is it gets all disformed while we're bringing it to the back. Hang on a sec. I'll just bring mine back through.
That looks about right, Nicole. I think it's just, you just then sort of twist it into place. Mine, look at mine. It's got this bit here. If you decide what you want to do with it in a way. I think anyway.
That's the
Absolutely,
technique.
Mary.
Just smell it
that's-
and enjoy being in New Zealand.
Then you've come out the back, and then I just give mine a little pull to make sure it's pulled through, but then mine is all misshaped like this.
Yeah.
So what I do is I just use my hand at the front to reshape it back to how it was before I started spinning it.
So are these together? Yeah. And then I don't know.
It's actually quite cool though. Whatever you've made is quite neat.
Yeah.
I like it.
It is neat. And you can even try spinning it from there if you want to grab hold of the ones at the back and just use your stem to.
Use the stem to spin, I think.
How?
So just holding on to your loose leaves and then use the stem to.
Yeah.
It's not changing anything. I'll just leave it. It's fine. So I'll stick to my.
If it helps, it looks beautiful anyway. It looks
Yeah.
like you've got a little flower there.
And now what do? I wrap it around and tie it off. Is that what you said?
That's the one. These could be little tokens for I'd Say life in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I like the flaxing, the weaving bit of it, not the flower. That's I enjoyed that.
Jamie and Jackson, you need no more toys or anything in your whole time in New Zealand. You just need the ability to cut a piece of flax.
Yes. So what I will do is I'll send the link through either to David or I might just go through the Zoom account and email it to you directly, the link.
Thank you.
Yeah, so some YouTube videos that you can follow while you're back home, and when you go back to Singapore maybe and do it over there. I don't know what the flax life is like
No.
over there, but I'm sure there's fun.
Tell you what, the paper bag life here is pretty good. We could have done it with that. Should have done paper bag weaving. There we we go. I've got it. I feel like I've made it stick out now.
Awesome, guys.
We should have a screenshot with our flowers or whatever we have. Shall I do it? Is everyone
Go
ready?
for it.
What about Mum? What about Belinda? Or just you two? Yeah. Okay. Everyone ready? Mary? Jamie, do you want to show your face? Yeah. Okay. Oops. Done. I'll send it to David and he'll
Thank
send
you.
it out.
Awesome. Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm not going to lie, I got a bit thrown off when I heard you the teachers because I'm coming in here to teach. Always get nervous about that, but I hope that I've done justice by showing you a plant this morning, or a puti puti. We'll do a quick round soon. I'll just do a close off karakia for us to bless us on our way. Unuhia, unuhia ki te uri tapunui kia wātia kia mama tēnāku te tinana te wairua I te ara takata. Koera e rongo whakairea ki runga kia tina. Haumi e hui e taiki. So basically, guys, that's just wishing you well on your journeys and stuff. Welcome home. It's great to have you back, and I hope you've enjoyed the session. So if you just want to close off with whatever, that's cool. Yeah, go for it.
Kia ora, thank you. It was great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed that very much. I loved the weaving. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I was excited when we got the opportunity because I know when I was at school, we got opportunities to do flax weaving, but this is Jackson and Jamie's first time. So thank you so much to giving them a piece of New Zealand.
Yeah. Kia ora, thank you for making me feel I'm back home and I'm off to Taupo after this, so there's plenty of flax near there, so everyone I'm staying with is I'm going to perfect this. But kia ora, thank you so much. It's lovely to touch base with you as well.
Yeah.
Thanks to Puna.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Ngā mihi koutou kia whaitora. Have a great day and enjoy the sun and take care. All the best on your journey from here. And have fun in Taupo. That's where my whānau are from, so love it. And yeah.
Okay.
Take care.
I will. Okay. Kia ora, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
You
you.
too. Bye.
Bye.